Hey guys, it's Zachy. So today I'm going to be doing an update of the very first episode of my series Q&A, Questions No One Asked. I'm going to be going over my year as of May of 2021. This is like mid-May. I'm filming this on the 15th. I don't know when I'll upload this. Probably the 15th. I don't know. So, as you guys may know, I love Jackson. I love their Kelly bird in particular. This one being Lindsey, of course. And yeah, here's what she pretty much sounds clean. So, as you guys may know, I've done some upgrades to her. So right now, it's still the regular body, still has the high mass bridge on her. Much lower action. I prefer, a lot of people prefer as low as they can get. Me personally, I've always preferred a higher action, but still having it moderately low. I think this is like maybe a eighth or something like that off the fingerboard. An eighth to a quarter, something like that. And yeah, so not much has really changed on her. Still has the stock Jackson pickups. The only thing that's changed about her is the hip shot drop tuner. This was utilized in my Kill Pop cover. I had this thing tuned down to C standard and in drop B. This thing can go 5 steps lower than what you're tuned to. As of right now, it's in D standard, and lever is dropped to C. And the strings I have on it right now are Ernie Ball 55 to 110 heavy gauge. And yeah, I love this thing. It's the one I held on to after all, so yeah, I mean, there's only a few cons I have about this bass. I don't know if you guys can hear, but the blend pot is really scratchy. The pickups can sound pretty muddy sometimes, and this thing is like a dent magnet. I've already said that before in my Lindsey and Jack's video. But you know, dent, scratches everywhere. But this thing is literally my workhorse. I can pick this thing up and literally just feel at home. And also with my addition of my keyboard that I have had, but I never utilized on the channel. Actually, if I remember, I think it was in Philip's reflection video, which he's still working on his YouTube channel, getting ready to start doing that. But as of right now, he's posting in a folder on Google Photos. So, yeah, trans blue finish with the quilt top burst and all of that. Amaranth fingerboard, maple neck. 34-inch scale length. I prefer the 34-inch versus like the shorter, like people like micro basses and stuff. I just prefer longer basses because it just feels better to me. It feels weird playing a guitar sometimes. So, yeah, that's Lindsey. You guys know her. And my newest addition is Miranda, which is my Jackson concert bass. CVX NT4 in Snow White. This thing is still kind of getting worked on. I need to get the frets leveled on this thing. So It's still about the same height as Lindsey's, although this thing could go lower, and I lowered the action last night. Holy crap, this thing feels good with that lower action, but I still prefer some of that higher action. But the funny thing about this bridge, the high mast bridges, this is why I'm moving away from high mast bridges over to a Babbitt's bridge eventually, is the retention screws. They really have a limit of where they can go. But this thing, as you guys probably heard in the last video, I used this thing and it's like, especially on that 7th fret, 9th, it's pretty bad. And that's the other thing I don't like is with how high the string saddles are on this thing, the saddles move a lot. They do have the grooves in there along with the blocks under the saddles themselves, but the blocks just aren't long enough. So it's part of the reason why I want to get a Babbitt's, is it's just going to be a lot more convenient because it's full contact. But first I'm probably going to get this thing leveled and crowned first. But anyway, I still love using it. It's a neck through bass, has black pickguard, Jackson PJ pickups. These things have quite a good sound to them, as you guys heard in the last video. Individual volume knobs. I just have it on the P, but with the J and the P. But yeah, this thing really does sound good. I like the way it sounds. I am going to be putting the EMG PJ pickups in here. I just like the sound of the EMG, guys. I just prefer it. I do like the maple fingerboard though. It gives it a nice bright snap. Die-cast Jackson tuners right here. This is a Indonesian bass. Now some of you guys are going, where's Lindsey? I mean Beast. Well, Beast is getting worked on because that boy has some issues. He's literally in the mental hospital right now. You know, the 6th fret on the E was even worse than this. At least this one, it sounds at least with this bass, it's somewhat tolerable, but still kind of gets on my nerves sometimes. I swear, I feel like I have perfectionism, and a lot of perfectionism in me. You know, I was kind of sitting there bitching about how my distortion pedal knobs were kind of off, and it was just like, dude, chill the hell out. So yeah, I'm getting past that. Don't worry, guys. But real quick, I just want to show you, and I'll do a sound demo here in a bit. I did get a dark glass Alpha Omega distortion pedal. I kind of mess with the sounds quite a bit. It's nice. I like having both the bite and the growl up. And I really like this serial number PZ5 2ZZ 927. 27 is a very important number to me because it's actually the day of my birthday, July 27th. That's my birthday. Z is of course my initial, and P is of course my initial. For you, those of you guys who actually know me, you guys will know my last name. But yeah, this thing, I love this. It gets quite some good sounds out of it. It's durable as, it's as pretty much almost as durable as a P bass. So, funny thing, last night I was so tired. I was literally in almost a drunken haze, but I wasn't even drunk. I was just that tired. I was about to go to bed. I had a big old glass of Dr. Pepper sitting here, and I knocked it over, and some got splashed on here. Luckily, this thing works just fine. It's still phenomenal. Still works really well. I was really worried that stuff would have gotten in the switches or in the pots, but these pots, they're sealed really well. You know, Dark Glass, you guys are awesome. Really like this pedal. I was also watching a couple videos on the other Alpha Omega Ultra. That thing is really nice. I would love to have one of those one day. Especially when I'm in school. That can pretty much be my little mini amp that I can plug headphones into. Speaking of headphones, I just use Turtle Beach gaming headphones. I customized these not that long ago. Put some blue and silver on them. And yeah, these are my headphones. I plug them into my Ampeg BA108 all the time. But yeah, so I'm going to go on a little mini rant about Jackson. Not so much about the company themselves, but more or less sort of the quality control. Now, granted, I never bought a bass off of Sweetwater. Probably the next bass I do get, I will buy off Sweetwater. The thing about Jackson that I have the biggest issue with is fret sprout. Other than that, the basses, they're phenomenal. The guitars are phenomenal. But that's the biggest complaint I hear and I have about Jackson is the fret sprout, especially on their X series and JS series basses. Because that's what I have. You know, I have the Dave Ellison 5-string Kelly Bird. I love that thing. It sounds phenomenal with those EMG HZ pickups. And yeah, that thing's awesome. Just sometimes fret sprout is kind of a deal breaker to me, but when it's, like I said, when it's kind of just like a minimal thing like that, it doesn't really bother me that much, but I know it can be better. So eventually I'm going to take this thing in and I'm going to get it fretted, well, not refretted, leveled and recrowned and all that stuff. This one on my 5-string, the 5th fret on the A is pretty worn. It's because I tried to level it out with a hammer and a cloth one time. Didn't do it too much, but yeah, it's kind of scratched up, but it's nothing. I've seen worse. I've seen much worse. Trust me. But yeah, that's the only complaint I have about Jackson is just the fret sprout on their X series and JS series basses specifically. But other than that, they're phenomenal. They're durable. They have a specific sound I like. I love the feel. If you guys ever want to know what my preferred neck profile is, it's a thin, I think this is a thin U 12 to 16 inch compound radius with a, I think this is a 42 millimeter nut, something like that. No, not 42, like, yeah, I think it's, no, not 42. But it's like a 73P style nut. But other than that, they're phenomenal basses. Definitely good for the money. Just make sure that you either order them off of Sweetwater with that 55-point inspection, or you pick one up in person and you sit and you see what you think about it. Other than that, I have no complaints. Jackson, they're really good. I'm almost considering going for an LTD next. Specifically the AP bass, because it comes stock with the Babics, the EMGs, and all that fun stuff. And I know ESP and even Schecter have some really top-notch craftsmanship on them. So yeah, Jackson and ESP and Schecter, those are my 3 favorite brands of choice. I know I have an Ibanez and an Epiphone up there, but I don't really use their stuff. Ibanez, they don't really have much of what I like. I really like, the big giant Explorer and Thunderbird type basses, and the regular S, like P&J style basses. Those are really what I prefer. So also stuff like Music Man, Fender, all those guys. Those are more what I prefer. Because I used to have a Sound Gear style bass, and that was my Jackson Spectra, and you guys know that one. I got rid of that one to get Miranda. But yeah, so that's really all the complaints I got about Jackson, is just the fret spout. And the fact that they're kind of a pain in the butt to set up, but not very bad. Anyway, so I want to do the quick demo of this is just a smidgen of the many tones that this pedal can give you. But I mean, it's just... but yeah, it kind of varies on kind of where I have everything set. We get something more balanced. But yeah, it's a really good pedal. Definitely recommend it. So it's about $300. Sure, you can find them for used at cheaper prices and stuff. But yeah, Jackson basses, dark glass electronics, and Ampeg amps are my current tone right now. Along with Ernie Ball strings. I don't have any new strings on that thing yet. So pretty much Ernie Ball strings, Dunlop picks or Fender picks, dark glass and Ampeg. Those are my preferred brands of choice. And if you guys ever want to go check some of this stuff out, I will leave links in the description to all. I don't know if you can really find much of those concert basses anymore, besides the 5-string versions. But I'll still link the 5-string version to that, of that bass to it. So yeah, I'll link the pedal. Doesn't really matter what cables I use in right now. It doesn't really faze me much. I do use a Ernie Ball cable as my main cable, and I just use a Nutex, I think, to connect my amp to my pedal or whatever. But yeah, so I'll leave all the links in the description below. Also, real quick about the Stevie T thing, he is back on YouTube. He's all good now, so I just want to say that real quick. But yeah, don't be a dummy and screw up your basses. Don't try to do half of the stuff I did and try to do it yourself without even knowing what you're doing. Always have a professional get it done for you, no matter how much it might cost. So, or either just learn, I'm just going to say, learn your shit. So, yeah, I just wanted to make another video. It's already been 20 minutes, so yeah, I just want to make a quick video, and see you guys later. See you on the other side. Don't be stupid. Wear a seatbelt. Don't have your distortion pedal with everything on max once you turn on your amp. Just don't do it. You'll hear it and you'll probably bust your amp. So don't be dumb. Kind of use something called a brain in your head. And yeah, see you on the other side, guys. Bye.